Hello, Rugby Hub viewers, and welcome back to another episode here on the Rugby Hub. Goody, good to see your face. And tell us a little bit what happened this morning in that game between the All Blacks and Australia.
Good morning, Gabsy. It's good to see you, man. The game this morning, the Bledisloe game between the All Blacks and the Wallabies was quite an exciting encounter, as we predicted, with a bit of a controversial ending to such an epic game. But we'll definitely cover that in the review of the Round 5 Rugby Championship after the Springbok game. But Gabsy, a lot of excitement in that game. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot to be said about the referee and some of the other decisions around the game
Definitely,
in the next few days to come. But let's move our focus to
the Springbok
Springboks.
Argentina preview.
Yes.
That's what this episode is all about. I think, super exciting game. Both lineups look like they are ready to play. It's two really strong teams, I would say, at least. Goody, maybe you have something for us there on the history in recent years or in general?
Well, I mean, they don't actually. Argentina and South Africa, in terms of rugby, don't have a very long sort of history. Out of I think the 33 games they've played, they've drawn once. If I'm not mistaken, the Argentinians have won 3, which leaves the Springboks with something like a 90% winning record. So definitely they get the upper hand in terms of that. Those losses that they suffered to Argentina came sort of in recent years, where Argentina has been on the up and up. So definitely for this weekend's game, you would expect nothing less than a tight encounter. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, and you can see it in the team selections that both coaches put out. They're not leaving anything to chance for this one. So maybe let's chat about the Argentinian side. What is the selection from Michael Cheika look like?
Goody, let's get straight into it. I mean, like you said, a lot has changed in recent years, so let's ignore that 90% winning percentage by the Boca. But
always fun to fall back on that, but yes.
No, I mean, Argentina, they have a really strong lineup. I'm just going to talk about some of the key changes that's been made, which is Teta's coming into that number 1 position there on the loose head prop. And then you also see actually the player that was selected in our first round team of the tournament, young prop Gallo moving
Thomas
to the
Gallo,
bench. So that's one big change up there. And then you see also in the loose forwards another chance for Mr. Gonzalez, the try-scoring machine. So I think he'll be excited to get another go. Another big change you see is De La Fuente, my boy, is back from a 3-week ban. I mean, he got banned for that pulling the hammy. Yeah, he got a ban for pulling the hammy. That was a fake injury, apparently. But
he's
get
back. A ban.
Oh, I thought it was a ban. I mean, anyways, he's back in the lineup.
He just got attacked with the sniper, but he's back in action, and we are excited for that guy to see him play.
Nevertheless, he's back. Of course, he wasn't banned, he's back in the lineup. Super excited to see him. He's recovered well from that calf injury, so that's great to see him back. Then I think in general, like the rest of the team is very much the same. So not a lot of changes. Krevi on the bench, very experienced campaigner. I'm sure he's going to come on in the second half. Wouldn't be surprised to see him come on after 50, 60 minutes, see if he could slow things down and, take up that physical battle against Marks up front. As we know, Marks and Fourie both there. Probably Marks will go for the full game again if there's no injuries. And other than that, in the backs you have the safe boot of Boffelli again there, and
Emiliano.
Emiliano and Orlando Matias also covering up the center with Geronimo De La Fuente. Anyways, so to be honest, I'm not going to spend too much time on the Argentinian team because I also don't think that our viewers are actually from Argentina. I know the guys down there don't really speak English. So if we have 1 or 2 Pumas fans, please tell us, what we missed out on. But let's talk about the
help us with the pronunciations, especially when it comes to Gadget's pronunciations. But no, Gadget, look, if that Argentinian side, I think Michael Cheika said. I didn't think he came out and explicitly said it, but he definitely left a few of the players in Argentina so that they can target this game against the Springboks. They targeted one of the games against the All Blacks and one against the Australians, and it's gone their way. They were very happy to see them getting those wins, and they're definitely gunning for this Springbok test that they have coming up at home. So I mean, we can see it in the selection. It's a strong team that Michael Cheika selected.
Definitely. I mean, just to touch off on that, I just wanted to say, obviously, with that loose trio that they have, like Marcos Kremer, Pablo Matera, and then also Gonzalez, like those three guys together are really magnificent. They've been really tremendous when they play together. So we're gonna have to, keep them quiet to make sure we have a good game on our hands for the Bokke. But do you want to switch over to the Bokke?
Well, I mean, I'd love to. I'm always glad when I get the opportunities to to name the Springbok. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm a coach, so some sort of inside information.
Is it the first time that you speak about the Bokke, actually? Do you know the players?
I think so. I always insert myself, but regardless, look, the team that Jacques Nienaber selected to combat with his side against Argentina, look, both teams have the sort of mentality of making it personal. I think it's a very difficult place to go play in Argentina. They make it personal. They're a very passionate country as well. And that's we've seen in the past has kind of been the Achilles heel for the Springboks when they played Argentina in Argentina. So they'll definitely be aware of what's coming. So I think, in my opinion, if we look at this sort of starting team, the forwards, this is the best forward pack that we have at the moment. I think between all the chop and changes that we did and sort of giving players chances, Stephen Kitsoff, Malcolm Marx, and Frans Malherbe, I think that front row is our best front row. I'm glad to see Malcolm Marx starting. I mean, he deserves it. He is probably the best hooker in the world right now. And even that front row is also arguably the best front row in the world. So Argentina is going to have their hands full with that one. And then actually Lood de Jager and Eben Etzebeth, I mean, they actually deserve a break, in my opinion. They've been playing a lot. So I think in the
I don't think we really have a
Argentina,
player to put in their place, except if you shift Mostert in there. But I don't feel that comfortable with our depth in the squad right now. I mean, of course,
maybe.
I mean, if we won all the other games, you could have made some experiencing right now, but we did not. It's do or die.
Yeah, it's do or die, exactly. So, I mean, Franco Mostert, he's packing up with that loose trio with Siya Kolisi, who's been in phenomenal form. Geez, that guy's been playing so well. Him and Jasper Wiese, and I think that's also the best back row that we have currently. I think Peter Steph du Toit is not really reaching his best form just yet. So it's good to see Franco Mostert there, and he's also kind of the cover for the lock. If you look at that bench for the forwards, you got Ulrich Lowe, who's a very exciting prospect. Him and Kwagga Smith, none of them are really a lock replacement. So you'll definitely see Franco Mostert moving to lock with the likes of Ulrich Lowe coming in on flanker. And then Kwagga Smith, we know the energy that guy brings.
Worst case, Andre Esterhuizen can always go for a session in the lock.
Yeah, I mean, I love when I look at the replacements, it's actually a 7-1 split with the likes of Andre Esterhuizen and Frans Steyn. I mean, these guys are definitely pushing to be forwards. But nevertheless, if we go towards the backs, it's the same as the game that they played in Australia. You got Jaden Hendrickse on 9, Damon Willems again on 10 after Elton Yankees was forced to leave the camp due to indiscretions, to put it that way. So we see Damien Willems retaining that number 10 spot. And we're not looking really for him to have 7 out of 7 out of the kicking tee. I mean, that's not the style of player that he is. He is an attacking player, and he really knows how to pull the attacking strings for the Springboks. Yeah. So you can expect, I would say, a more of a high-scoring game, but we'll get to the predictions in a second. Furthermore, midfield now remains with Damon Dalene and Jesse Kriel. You got Andre Esterhuizen, who's been
Butterfingers getting another chance.
Butterfingers is back in there. Jesse Kriel. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, he's past his expiration date for sure. But regardless, Andre Esterhuizen was the player of the Premiership, if I'm not mistaken, and he's been in great form in England, where he's been playing with the Harlequins. So I'm very excited to see him have a go again. And then the young man, Kanan Moody, who had a very, very good debut against Australia. He's back in there with Makazolo Mapimpi. And then at the back, Willie LaRue, who I think has been performing very well, despite all the haters that he has in South
Yeah,
Africa,
no,
unfortunately.
definitely. Gweri, just want to ask you a question there on that topic. You reckon Damon de Allende would switch to 13 and Andre would come on 12? Or what do you think will be the plan there in the center or on
Yeah,
the
I would
midfield?
suggest that would happen. I think when Jesse Creel went off the field and Frans Steyn came in, I
The
think Frans
Allende
Steyn then
shift,
went to
yeah.
12 and the
Yeah.
Allende shifted to 13. And I think
Yeah,
we're going to see the
that's
same.
exactly what I'm curious about because obviously this is the first time they pick this kind of obviously mixture
Mm,
because you don't have a reserve fly off. I mean, France then can also cover 10, Faf de Klerk as well,
mm,
actually. But I don't want to see France Steyn on 15. To me, he's just
no,
not fast enough anymore. So that's
no.
just why I was asking that question because if he doesn't come on center or fly off, the only other place he can play is either maybe on the prop or fullback.
Well, I
But
mean, if all else fails with Damian Willemson with the kicking tee, you got a guy like Frans Steyn coming up and providing some support there. If he needs to kick at goal, and we know that he has experience in that. So
yeah,
no, like if I look at this team, this is a very good team, and I think maybe the bench is maybe not as strong as it could have been. I know that Dion Fourie is also in there. We haven't even mentioned him and Oxenche and Trevor Yakane, who's the
it's
front row
basically the
replacement.
same team. I mean, in that regard,
Yeah,
if you
Dion
think about
Fourie in that Australian game, he didn't even come on for Malcolm Marx. Malcolm Marx played 81 minutes, which is good to see. And I think, who was it? Mark Owain from SA Rugby also said he was as good in the 81st minutes as he was on the first. And Dion Fourie actually came on for Siya Kolisi towards the end on
yeah,
flanker. So
exactly.
it's good to have a sort of a hybrid like that on the field, which is great. And then Oxenche and Trevor Yakane is, I mean, they're great scrummagers and great front row. So Gabs, head to head, these two teams are going to battle it out for all money. What do you think
I'm
about
very
the
excited.
prediction?
So my prediction this week is definitely going to go all the way with the Bokke. My blood is green, and I'm backing the Bokke by
Big
12.
surprise.
Big surprise. So Bokke by
Okay.
12. That's
Yeah.
it. How about you?
Well, I look, I mean, in the context of this championship, right? I mean, it's do or die. And like we said, semi-finals, finals now, right? So look, my blood is also green on this one, for sure. So I'm going to go with the Springboks by 8. I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but yeah, this is going to be a very exciting one. I'm looking forward to it. And then Gabsy, our big expectation player of the week. Who do you expect most from which player this week?
Our BEP. Our BEP this week for me
Our
is going to
Beb.
be Our BEP is going for me to Damon Willemse. I know it takes a lot to pull out a man of the match performance twice in a week, twice in 2
Mm.
games, pardon me. Anyways, but I think, he's been training his kicking all week and, I think he's going to just be once again a key player and he's going to be influential. So I'm going for him.
Mm.
And yeah, how about yourself?
Well, not that it has anything to do with kicking to poles, but I'm going with Emiliano Buffeli, Emiliano, rather. So I think, yeah, if he has a big game, the Argentinians will have a big game. So either him or Pablo. No, I'm going to go with Buffeli. You got to go with Buffeli. Him
All
or
right.
a quick De La Fuente hamstring sniper attack.
No, go. You have to pick
So
one. So
yeah,
you're going with
I'm going
me
to
with
go with
Damien
Buffeli.
Willemse. Okay. Now you go with
Buffeli and
me.
Damien Willemse. Let's see how they
Okay.
go this weekend. Gabsy, I'm super excited. To all our
Yes.
viewers, go and comment your predictions below. Who is your big expectation player? Who do you expect the most from this weekend's game between the Springboks and the Argentinians? And yeah, go check out our Instagram page at Rugby Hub Spot.
Yeah,
And there
please go
you'll
vote because
find
at this
some
stage
polls.
it's been 100% for the Bokke. So if you don't think the Bokke will win, comment it below and we'll vote for you. But at this stage, the poll is 100% Springboks. Once again, thank you so much for the time, Goran. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Super excited for this weekend's rugby. Like, subscribe, share, comment, do whatever you can. And thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming.
Have a good weekend, guys. Cheers, Gabsy. Go
Thanks,
Boca.
Goran. Let's go, boys.